Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new and final episode of Utawarerumono Itsuwari no Kamen, which is on episode 25, or you can call it Utawarerumono the False Faces. Now, this episode right here has become literally one of the turning points for me for a score. Now, even though this final episode did push it, and even though the series did not turn out as good as it should have been, it did what it had to do. I think for this season to announce one thing, which I'll take to it at the end and tell you guys. So let's just get this started. Okay, at the beginning of the episode, we have to it that Kuon is traveling somewhere, and it seems like she's taking the inn to herself. But apparently, we have to it that after that, we go back to a flashback where Oshitaru and Neko-nechan ends up talking to Kuon and the others, and Oshitaru tells Kuon that Haku is dead, which Kuon was concerned and worried, and she wanted to go check, but he says that Haku's dead. And everybody was pretty shocked, not to mention Ruruti, Atui, Nosuri, Ogi, almost everybody. Kiryu himself with honesty. After what just happened in this episode, that kind of thing, it seems like everything was on check and point. But the truth is, Haku was the replacement of Oshitoru. With the help of Urura and Sarana, they managed to fool Kuon and everyone else. And this is where Neko-nechan tells Haku that this is going to be difficult for you. And it plays a scene where Oshitoru is about to die. Because of what he used for on the mask, which was a heavy price to pay, he's already going to die, which is already shown. It was actually foreshadowed in last week's episode, honestly. No doubt about that. And therefore, after that, everyone was pretty sad. Not to mention Karura and Toka, who are still in Yamato, who still doesn't really know anything. Not even Kuon herself. Therefore, Kuon makes her goodbyes after that, after playing a long flashback, and she returns to Tsuskuru. Haku actually had thoughts about wanting to tell Kuon, but he says, "No, I can't yet. I can't. Right now, Oshitaru's death must be hidden. I am Oshitaru now. Haku is dead," which I can understand why he lied and why he had to hide everything, because everything will cause an uproar and everything will be in chaos, possibly. Is why Haku had to do it. And Oshitaru passed his mantle to him, which is something that Haku didn't want, but he decided to do it anyway, possibly to honor his friend or to give out his moments to him, that kind of thing. So pretty much, Haku did what he had to do. I can understand that, but it was pretty difficult for Kuon because the moment she got home to Tsuskuru, she cries in her mother's brother's arms, apparently. Well, I think that's Oboro. I think his name's Oboro, if I remember correctly. Yes, Oboro. His name is Oboro. And this was pretty difficult for her because I think Kuon actually cared for Haku very greatly, which I can understand. I mean, they hanged out for a long time and understood each other, but in the end, Haku decided to lie and Kuon never found out at all. Haku actually had thoughts about telling Kuon, but he decided not to, and so forth, Well, as for Karura, I forgot to mention, again, I'm repeating myself again, she's drinking a lot, And right now, his new path is to war now. His path now is one of war, which Haku does not really want to do, but right now he wants to fulfill his, because right now he's Oshitoru and he wants to fulfill and honor his friend, so that's why he took over. So, big understanding here and there, So, one thing to put in simple bullet points, Oshitoru's dead. and he passed his mantle to Haku, and Haku became the new Oshitoru. With the help of Urana and Sarana, he lied and he managed to fool everybody and say that Haku is dead. Kuon goes home in a great depression and sadness to Tsukaru and runs into her mother's brother's arms, Oboro, and cries greatly. Now, the way how it ended, it should give out this thing right now to why Aqua Plus is giving out the final game of the trilogy of Utawarerumono, which is known to be Utawarerumono Futari no Hakuro, or in other cases, Utawarerumono the Two Hakuros. Now, this is very old news that I found out, and I made a video about it many months ago, which I will put the link in the description or somewhere around the screen. But I think the video will be in the video link will be in the description below, which will make it easy. So, since the game of the third and final game of Utawarerumono, known to be Utawarerumono the Two Hakuros, since that game is going to be released this year, it is possibly, this is my theory and hypothesis, so don't take it seriously. It can either be released either this year or next year at most. Because there's no way they're not going to wait like 7 to 8 years that that another season will be released. That's what happened to like the second season, because Itsuwari no Kamen's game just got released many months ago, which is in 2015 of September, etc. You know? Yada yada yada. You guys get the point. Now, going to my final thoughts on this series, I will say this to you guys right now. The second season did not come out as good as the first season. That is my overall honesty. When I watched the first season, it was pretty good. But when I watched the second season, it was pretty good at a somewhat point. But eventually, it started to drop down a bit with so many meaningless episodes. I know it gave out maybe a little development here and there, but still, it did not come out as good as I wanted it to be, you know? But after seeing this episode, the way how it ended, for Haku to fulfill and and take on the role of the legacy of his best friend, lying to Kuon and the others for the sake of Yamato and possibly for everyone around him he loves and cares about, I think this show literally boosted its score to 5 to 6 out of 10. Those who are criticals and so forth and knows how to talk about this logically, I already know what their score is. It's way below mine, that's for sure, or just like it should never exist at all. That's what I think of their perceivings is, you know? But overall, this Utawarerumono Itsuwari no Kamen, or Utawarerumono the False Faces, in this final episode, it pushed it up to a 5 to 6 out of 10 for me because of this final episode. It did what it had to do, I believe, and it gave out a certain open ending depending how you perceive it for the third and final game of Utawarerumono, which I read news about it like many months ago, which I will put that link along with my video link I'll put my video link of what I talked about that game in the description below so you guys can check it out, alright? So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the series as much as I did, even though I had my ups and downs with it and it had its flaws. I hope you still had fun with it to the very end. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys in my next final recap and impressions, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye.